Good morning, Mayor Parish, council members, and fellow residents. My name Ashish, Canadian and Mississauga resident, representing Voice of Mississauga, organization formed by us. Now, before addressing the tax increase for which I am speaking here, I might highlight an issue that speaks for accessibility. That is some outdated petition process. Now, I believe we do have mortgages and legal documents and even government service being done digitally. So requiring physical printouts with wet signatures for petition is little unnecessary and burdensome. This creates barriers for the civic engagement. I respectfully urge the council to modernize the system. If we can have a simple change that would amplify our voices, it would be easier.
I want to begin by thanking you for coming here today. I know it takes time out of your own workday to come and advocate on behalf of yourself and other Mississauga residents. I always appreciate it when people do that. I wanted to address the issue of petitions. I agree with you that the paper petition maybe needs to be modernized. So what I would ask is that we have a governance committee. And I can definitely look into asking the governance committee to look into this. So we have the next meeting in May, so we'll try and get that on the agenda. And just look for that agenda because it would give you an opportunity to actually delegate at the governance committee, which is where we could make changes like this. And I agree with you that, we need to do better in terms of keeping our taxes low. What's done is done, but 2026 is a new year, and I'm sure we'll all work towards trying to do that. And I just have a question for you, which is, for 2026, what would you like to see in terms of a property tax, flat, increase? Do you have any ideas?
I'm not very sure if I would be in the capacity to say exactly, but as a resident and a tax-paying citizen, I would believe that if at all we again do not have control over some tax rise, which is going to come or not, I'm not aware of. If that is coming in, then we would appreciate if the council does not burden any further and stops any other increase that would add to that. If we are not, then I would love to keep it as flat as inflation, because we are already burdened with a 9.3%. I don't know if it could be reverted, it could be halted, it could be amended or not. But if going forward we are being a little more responsible towards the residents, would be great.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, for that, I think. Thank you, sir, for coming today. You rightly pointed out that half the property tax increase for this year is Peel Regional Police, over which we virtually have zero control. However, most members of this council did vote against the Region Appeals budget for the very reason that we thought the increase being requested by Peel Regional Police was way higher than we felt was appropriate, and obviously that had an impact on the tax rate increase. But I think you did say in your deputation that because we had to deal with that, we should have found savings or cut costs or reduce service in other areas to bring that tax burden down. Can you give me some examples of what you would like to see us cut in our budget? Do you want us to have less firefighters, less transit? Do you want us to not plow all the roads in the city? Can you name me some services that you think we should cut in order to get that property tax increase lower?
What I would like to say, Councillor, here is it's not about the cutting the services. I think where I was coming from was that we had a majority of the portion coming from the Peel Police's budget. Now, if we are increasing the budget towards, for example, I can give one example, towards a wind trail cleaning or the snow cleaning, right? We could have halted it for this year's increase of the budgets. Right? It was not a critical services which needs to be added when we already knew that the budgets are going to impact us. Peel Police's budget are going to impact our property taxes. Then maybe the city's own budget, which is going to increase it further. I'm saying that increase could have stopped. The other services which are ongoing are ongoing. The city is doing it.
So you don't have any examples for me of what you would cut?
I'm saying about the snow cleaning. That could have not added further to the increase of the taxes.
Okay. Well, you realize what the percentage increase of windrow clearing was for the 2025 budget? It was 0.5%.
Yes.
And next year, it'll be a full season. It's 1.8% of the, it would be 1.8%. But when we surveyed residents in Mississauga, they wanted windrow clearing. It was quite clear. When we surveyed people in this city, they want that service. So if people want a service, they have to be prepared to pay for it.
Absolutely. The city wants the service, and we all want the service, Councillor. But when the increase has already been there, I'm very sure the same people who would want the service, even we would want the service, if we are not isolating it or putting it in silo, that do you want this service or this service? Yes, we do. But when it's being compiled and it's being added together, when we knew the increase is coming, I'm not saying this service is not wanted, but this service could have come after 1 or 2 years when the burden would have already been mitigated. It's not required, as per me, to everything being piled up on the same year, right? Rather than having a 9.3% increase, I believe that cushion could have been provided. That yes, city wanted this service. It could have been done after a year or 2 years when the city.
Ashish, I think you've made your point. Do you have any more questions, Councillor Budd?
No.
What other consultation would you like to see us be doing with residents? Because you mentioned that you have opinions, you're coming here, there's many of you coming here. How could we have talked to you when the budget was up for a discussion better so that you could have had your input at the time when we would be able to take it into account?
Well, I believe as a city or as a council, you guys do have sessions where you invite people to come in. I would have also appreciated if at each and every ward level, such consultations could be done. Now, one of the members I heard that had a consultation with few hundred people in here is his ward, and they complained about two particular things, and one was about the increasing crime and other was about the increasing costs. Now, to take care of the one, we are burdening the other more. So I'm not very sure that how are we then discussing about the ward and what kind of community engagement or outreach are we doing at the ward level. So maybe as councillors, again, I can just speak for myself, if we can have more engagement at the ward level first and then that comes to the city council level, it might have brought in better viewpoints from the residents, which at the city level, a lot of times they may not be aware of that there is such meeting which is being held or where they can have their voices being heard.
Good morning, members of the council and mayor.
Good morning.
I'm Nishal, resident of Mississauga. Some of my friends already stole my thunder, so I wouldn't get into why we shouldn't increase the taxes. But some of the points just wanted to underline here are, we think this tax is getting affected only for house owners. Many of the tenants who are my friends, they say, indirectly, we also get hit. It goes directly, it's directly contradicting whatever our federal, provincial, and other leaders are saying. Doesn't matter about Residential Tenancies Act. The tenants are going to get hit. You can slice it and dice it and put all the technicalities, but the cost to get passed over. The tenants who are trying to make their ends meet, they get hit. And we already have talked about price gouging and other things. One of the good points raised by this council is what else can we do? One is about the Peel Police budget. I'm all for increasing the budget if it goes to the salary of the police staff. But there are many wastes happening in Peel Police which we need to look at. We may not have the authority, but at least next time we should question why this 34% increase. If it's to pay our police staff, definitely they do a great job. But if it's for waste and paper pushing, we shouldn't be helping that. Next suggestion is, I was just looking at job descriptions, which is posted on City of Mississauga's website, and I see there were two jobs there, production operator, production coordinator. I looked at side by side. I'm not a specialist, but I don't see why we have two job classifications. Maybe in future we can look at merging job classifications, save on wages and salaries. Maybe we don't have to hire so many staff. And of course, we need to cut down on non-critical expenses, which has already been addressed. Some of the times I think our city council is too good, but we have to say no to residents sometimes. There are a lot of pressure groups that you face. you people are doing a great job, but sometimes resident associations push your ward members so much that it's difficult to say no. You have to say no to these resident groups. I don't want to name the street. I saw the other day somebody breaking up a street and they're building it again. So I jokingly asked that construction worker, like, what are you exactly repairing? He just smiled and shrugged. He's getting paid, that's okay. But we don't have to make it spick and span like Singapore, but if it's reasonably decent, don't break it, don't fix it. And the other one was about snow clearing. Well, some things we need, that's fine. But then things like snow clearing from cycle lanes, we can postpone. And I think the last one that I like to say is, we can definitely commission an internal study with our staff who are already working in the city of Mississauga, and they have brilliant ways to save money. We don't have to hire expensive Pricewaterhouse or Ernst & Young consultants taking millions of dollars. Just ask your staff around, and that suggestions could come directly to the councillors here. And we want more power for our councillors who can actually make the changes rather than going through the whole bureaucracy. That's it from my end. Happy to answer any questions.